What if there was a podcast where one NFL legend talked about football? What about two NFL legends? This is Wideout's World, where the gridiron comes alive. NFL legends, Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson, breaking down the game from the ultimate insider perspective. Game recaps, upcoming previews, and exclusive analysis straight from the minds of those who've been in the trenches. Yeah. Wideout's World. Let's do it.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Hey, we're ready for some football, baby. He got a smile on his face. He's smiling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's up, everybody? We are here. This is Wideout's World. Wow. I'm Irving Fryar, and that's my co-host, my friend, my partner, my former teammate, Michael Timpson, former wide receiver
howdy.
in the NFL. Yeah. We are here. It is Super Bowl Sunday week. Yeah, Super Bowl 60. Man, the season flew by. There were a couple of times where, well, you know what? It never got boring. It never got stagnant. There was always something to talk about. There was always something good going on or exciting going on. So I think we breezed right through the season, man, and the playoffs. I mean, the playoffs were real exciting. And here we are, Super Bowl Sunday.
But you know what was interesting about the whole year, like you said, it was never a dull week. It was always, but the games were competitive.
Right.
It wasn't just, things dragging. I mean, you had a couple weeks in there, but for the most part,
right,
every week you had at least a real good game. But before you keep going, Irv, I want to ask you a question because you just said Super Bowl week, and I think I asked you this last Super Bowl week, and we made it to another one. I think it's interesting because I'm always fascinated with the Super Bowl week and the things that go on. You went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Do you remember anything? Because I can't remember what you said last year, so this is still new. It will be new again.
Okay.
What memory do you have? And don't give me, I think you said something like, well, it was a blur. I don't give me that. I want to know what.
A blur? What memory do I have? Or what?
What do you remember that sticks out in you? Because you got to take a memory with you at the Super Bowl you went. What is it?
Oh, you mean the Super Bowl that we played in?
Yes,
that
sir.
I played in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not there's two memories that I have, and neither one of them are good.
Oh Lord!
Because we lost the game, and it was a bad loss. Matter of fact, at that point, it was the widest margin of victory in the history of the Super Bowl since they had been doing Super Bowls. So one of the things that I remember is, during the week, we didn't act like, Raymond Berry didn't act like and treat us like and have us do the things we normally did during the week before the game. We treated it like it was a Super Bowl. And so we had more curfews and things were tight and we were all upset. And when I walked out of the tunnel at the beginning of the game, I promise you, I could not see anything on my right or my left. I was so nervous. I was so amped up.
Nervous? Okay.
I had tunnel vision. It was black. And you know how they have all the festivities and stuff on the field and whatnot as you're coming on. Man, I was black until I got to the bench. Then things started lightening up. When I first ran through the tunnel with the team and ran out onto the field, I got nervous. I was real nervous already, but then I got even more nervous because I didn't know what was going on. I had never experienced that before. It looked like I was blacking out and I couldn't see anything. I'm like, am I going to be able to play? And that got better. But then I think we were down by, double digits, probably 20-some points at this point, and Raymond Berry was walking up and down the sidelines during the game. This is sometime during the third quarter, walking up the sideline saying, we only need to score 20 points. We only need to score 21 points. Come on, hang in there. Now I'm sitting next to Craig James, running back Craig James, the second half or one of the halves of the Pony Express from SMU. Remember? You had Eric Dixon and Craig James. So Craig was sitting next to me, and I'll never forget this, and I never forgave him for this because he and I used to work out together during the off season, and I not turned my back on him, but I was done with him at this point. We're sitting on the bench, we're in this fight, getting our behinds whooped, and he looks at me and says, I just want to go home to my wife. I looked at him, I said, man, I said, Coach Berry, don't put him back in the game. He has given up. He has quit. He said he wants to go home to his wife. What? I'd never heard anybody say anything like that prior to that, and I've never heard another player say anything like that since. That just really rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, yeah, we're getting beat, but we got to fight, man.
Was it 35-10? What was the score? Was it like 35-10 to the Bears?
I thought they scored 42, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what the but we made a lot of mistakes. We did. We played in the wild card and won the wild card, and then the conference championship, division champion, that kind of stuff, and then division, and then conference, and then we went to the Super Bowl, and all of our games were away, and all of those games in the playoffs, we played well. We didn't turn the ball over. We were well balanced, throwing the ball and running the ball. Defensively, we're solid. But when we started that game against the Bears, I had an opportunity to watch it probably 2 years ago. We made a lot of mistakes that really put them on top. There were some drop passes. I ain't drop a pass, but there were some drop passes. There was a drop interception that we could have walked into the end zone. Missing tackles, throwing interceptions. Yeah, it was a lot going on that was out of character for us.
Fryar 86 said it was 46-10. Good gracious. You let refrigerator Perry.
That's Vinny Capriati.
Highlights. All I saw was the highlight with refrigerator Perry running the ball in.
You remember Larry McGrew? Was he there, the linebacker?
Yes, he was there. Mm-hmm.
If you ever get a chance to watch that game, when they gave Refrigerator Perry, instead of giving it to Walter Payton, they gave Refrigerator the ball at about the 3 or 4 yard line. He knocked Larry McGrew out. Because Larry was a middle linebacker. He met him at the line. Man, he knocked him out. Knocked him out. You see Larry hit him and just fall. Boom. He ran over him, ran through him, knocked him out. Loving My Destiny is watching. Billy Bell is in the house. What's going on, Billy Bell? Wide Outs World is in the house. Dawn is in the house. Hey, Dawn. Eddie Casper is in the house. Vinny Capriati is in the house. Mama McGee is my mother. Mother Fryar is in the house.
Hey, Mom.
That's Vinny Capriati, yeah. Should have been Walter Payton's touchdown. That's right. That should have been Walter Payton's touchdown, not the refrigerator. Walter was upset.
Well, I'm sorry I brought it up. It's not a fun memory. I thought maybe you have, we was on Bourbon Street or something like that. One of those stories.
No, we weren't even allowed to go down there. Raymond Berry put a lasso on us. We weren't even allowed. We were not permitted to be anywhere near Bourbon Street.
He couldn't trust y'all. He couldn't trust y'all. That's
probably
and it didn't work.
True.
It didn't work either.
It surely didn't work. We could have had fun. Still got beat. Shoot. That's why I don't have any good memories.
Well, you got.
But it's all good. I scored the first touchdown ever in a Super Bowl for the Patriots. We didn't win, but I'm the first one to score a touchdown for the Patriots. The only one at that point to score a touchdown for the Patriots in a Super Bowl. So that's a trivia question. Who's the first person to score a touchdown for the Patriots in a Super Bowl?
There you go.
That's me.
Go.
Yeah,
you're in the books.
I'm in the books. So this is our last week, right? We're not coming back next week, are we?
Well, we haven't had an executive meeting to decide.
Oh, we got to have an executive meeting
to do the recap.
To do the recap of the game. Okay, we should come back next week.
Okay, we'll come back next week.
Yeah, we should come back next week.
Okay.
I got.
And then we go on vacation.
But remember, we were talking about, because I'm going to be in Minnesota for Super Bowl weekend. I got to see what time I get back. Remember, we were talking about that. That's why we hadn't made up our mind.
That's why we haven't had an executive meeting, not online live.
But we'll have an executive meeting sometime before this weekend.
Okay. All right, man,
and there's two people on the executive board. Guess who? So we got some news of the week. Let's follow our format for Super Bowl week. We'll talk about the game last. But you got some news of the week? I mean, there's obviously a bunch of stuff going on, but what's your news of the week?
I got a list.
Uh-oh. Okay. You got we snapping.
Got a list. Okay. Here's my news of the week.
Lord have mercy.
Did you see or hear the comments? And I got several things, so I'm just going to go with one. It's probably maybe the same thing you have. No. The Justin Jefferson comments about Donald playing in the Super Bowl. He said that they would have done better had they kept him He knew the system. He knew the receivers, the whole 9 yards.
Uh-huh.
They would have done better had they kept him.
Well, that's a smack. That's a smack in the face to his quarterback for one.
But wait, well, yeah, but this was a day after they got rid of the GM, and so I didn't like that whole thing when they did it in the first place.
Right.
When they kept J.J. McCarthy and they let Sam Darnold walk out the door after winning 14 games.
Right.
So I wasn't happy about that.
Yeah, that
just
was not.
came back about him.
Yeah.
So now he said it publicly, what we all knew,
Mm-hmm.
that was just not a good move. Now, here's my question. The GM got sacked or fired, but do you think that his coach should shoulder some of the blame for letting it happen as well?
Say it again.
In terms of Sam Darnold leaving, they didn't sign him. They could have did the franchise tag. They didn't do that either.
Well, the coach has to take some of the blame because I'm sure he was in the process or part of the process of making that decision.
Right.
He's the head coach, so he does have some say as to who, for the most part, most of the head coaches have some say as to who's going to be on the team. When it comes to drafts, when it comes to free agents, who's going to be let go, who's going to be cut.
Right.
He has some say when it comes to that because he's the one that's observing these cats all day, every day. So I don't know if there's
fired the GM.
Yeah.
They fired the GM. They didn't obviously touch the coach, but I think he should get some things said about him. Now, in contrast, you said this when we were doing one of the shows. You said typically when they get rid of the coach, they get rid of the GM.
Right.
That didn't happen. That's one.
Well, they didn't get rid of the coach. They got rid of the GM.
Well, you said obviously a lot of times they're together.
They're together, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, I'll give you one that same thing somewhat happened. The Giants, remember? Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley. Coach is gone, but guess who's still there? That GM, Joe Schmo, or Joe, whatever his last name is.
Joe.
He's still there.
He really needs to go because he's really an idiot. He really is an idiot. He knows nothing. I don't know if his problem is with the salary cap and trying to get players and to fit under the salary cap and balancing that out when it comes to drafting guys and labeling guys and trading players. I don't know if he's not good at that part of it, but when it comes to talent and letting go of talent, he's been a wash. He's just been a rag. He's not very good at it. Yeah.
Saquon Barkley, all of them had great seasons after they left because he let them walk out the door. So that's just a good contrast. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. So I'll digress and hear your next news. I got another one for you, but
give me your other one. Give me because this. I need to end with this. We need to end with mine.
Okay. So I didn't know this, but I did my homework. Joe Schmo. He said Joe Schmo must have had bad pictures of the owner.
Who said that? Joe Schmo. Yeah.
The Eagles. You got a new offensive coordinator with the Eagles.
Mannion. Yeah.
So Mannion. So I looked him up. 2 years, offensive assistant in 24, the QB coach last year, 1 year. Now he's an OC in the Eagles with the Eagles.
He finished playing a couple of years ago.
23, not a good move.
No, it's not a good move.
33 years old. That's not. I didn't understand that move. They're gonna just kick him around. I mean, he's 33 years old.
They got a young quarterback coach now. They just brought in the quarterback. And then just think about Patullo, who's been there. He's still there. They moved him from the OC position, but he's still in the building. Can you imagine being him walking around in the building? You got two new guys ahead of you, OC and quarterback coach, and you was a part of the problem last year, and now you're going to try to move in with them and teach these guys? No. I'd be trying to get out of there.
So now, remember, your prediction was, and it's still early, that AJ would be gone. The only way this is going to work if AJ is gone. If AJ stays, he's gonna run roughshod over those two guys. Last thing, and I'll give you the floor. There's a reason Mike McDaniel did not even formally interview for that job. Right.
Right.
So, something's off.
Well,
either he didn't want to do. Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. No, go finish because you're going where I was going. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm of the mindset that he didn't want to deal with any AJ crap, and he took his boat and rolled over to into California. So
I'm not so sure that the reason he didn't interview in Philadelphia, McDaniels, is because of AJ, because he dealt with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek was a little, not AJ, but he was
Right.
he was a little prima donna-ish as well.
Okay.
I think the reason, because you know as well as I know, Mike, these coaches talk around the league.
Oh, yeah.
They talk to one another, and underneath whatever's happening in Philadelphia, the word has gotten out amongst the coaches what the underlying issue is that hindered that offense and caused them to just, fall flat on their face
Okay.
instead of flourishing the way they should have with all the talent that they have.
Right.
And I am of the mindset, I am convinced that the biggest part of the problem is Jalen Hurts and his inability to do certain things. His inability to run certain types of offense. Listen to me now, because remember last season when Kellen Moore came in and was there for a season. They went to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. Those first 4 games of the season last year, they were all over the
year
place.
before.
Not this season, 2024. They were the year they went to the Super Bowl. The first four games, they were all over the place. They were trying to run Kellen Moore's offense.
Mm-hmm.
Then we come back, they have the bye. They come back after the bye, they start running the ball.
Right.
The emphasis is on the run, and Saquon obviously is running crazy, and the offensive line is blowing people out. Number 1 line in the NFL, and he's the number 1 back in the NFL. But the pass offense stayed vanilla. And it was able to stay vanilla, and thus not recognizing the fact that it was vanilla. Why? Because the run game was excelling so much. They were still throwing hitches and throwing slants and throwing stops and throwing goes. That was it last year. Their passing, when they went to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, they were 28th in passing that season.
Wow.
28th.
Wow.
They dummied down the pass game, and they were able to get away with it because they were running the ball so well. Didn't have a running game this season, 2025, because linemen were hurt. But the offense still had to stay dummied down.
But do you think that they were 28th in passing because they had such a dynamic running game? They didn't have to throw the ball, and so they weren't going to take chances.
Exactly.
Which I guess that's why you're saying
exactly. Exactly. They didn't have to take chances because the running game was, so they weren't throwing the ball. They dummied it down. Like I said, it still was slants, and when you watch what they were running, slants and outs and goes. That's all they were running because that's what Jalen is comfortable with. And these McDaniels is not comfortable. His offense is people crossing and all kinds of stuff going on. He's not coming here and doing that. And then the other thing is this, and this has to do with Mannion, who's with them, 33 years old. He's not coming in here, and you know this because the offensive staff didn't change.
Right.
So he's not coming in and teaching a whole staff his offense and then teach the players his offense. No, that's not happening. He's going to come in and he's going to run and call Sirianni's offense, which is what everybody's been doing, running Sirianni's offense. They might put a couple of wrinkles in that he's, he might come up and get creative and put a couple of wrinkles in, but for the most part, it's going to be Sirianni's offense. So it's going to be him learning Sirianni's offense and running that offense.
Okay. I hear
That's how it's going to be.
Okay.
And you can watch. You can mark, you can bet you by golly why that offense, as long as Jalen is there, unless they figure out a way to get him more involved. I said run RPOs, get him involved, keep him from being so robotic and start being instinctive, get him involved in the game by RPOs, and then be precise with what you're calling in terms of, or be intentional in terms of what you're calling, so that when he fakes the ball and he keeps it himself, when he's got to throw it, he's only got 1 or 2 choices right in front of him.
But to your point, who better to get that out of him than a Mike McDaniel? Hey, Justin Herbert ain't that mobile and he kind of stiff, but he's going to make it work. I think that would be the perfect person to get him doing some things differently and find that part of Jalen Hurts perhaps.
Right.
So, but it's not going to happen. But you know,
I agree with you, Mike. I got my light on here. Turn my light on.
That he may have been able to pull something out of Jalen Hurts.
Well, our offensive coordinator, and I know this just from, like I take Gruden. I believe Gruden was the best offensive coordinator I ever played for.
Mm-hmm.
And
hey man, this is live TV. What you doing?
I'm just getting my fan right, bro. It's all right. I'm still here. John Gruden, and I know this to be true because when John Gruden left, Bobby Hoying fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden was not just a great offensive coordinator who could call plays and design plays to get guys open, but he was also a great quarterback coach. And the OC has to be not just a great play caller and play designer, but he's got to be a real good quarterback coach because he's got to understand his quarterback and then put a game plan together and call that game plan in a way where it builds confidence in his quarterback and allows his quarterback to do what his quarterback does best more times than not.
I mean, to that point, that's why I say McDaniel. Look what he did to Tua. Everybody was ready to throw Tua out the window.
Right.
He was done, but he came in and he maximized what he could do. So, I mean, okay, we'll have to wait and see.
We'll wait and see.
I'm going to give you another one. Clint Kubiak to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I like that pick. He's going to, they say after the Super Bowl, he's going to be named the Raiders coach.
Right.
Here's my question. I watched, and I don't know if you did because you said you don't watch college football. I don't know if you even watched the championship game. The Indiana quarterback, Fernando Mendoza, he is predicted to be the first pick, the first quarterback, go to the Raiders. I like him. He's a good quarterback. I just don't know if he can make it out in LA, Las Vegas with the Raiders. I mean, he's like a goober. Nice little, proper guy.
Right. He's too, yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think the black hole, they'll swallow him up.
Well, it's better than being in Philly. It's better than being in Philly.
Philly ain't much better. So
no, Philly is worse. They'll kill him here in Philadelphia. They will ruin him if he doesn't come out and do. I mean, obviously nobody's going to take Jalen's place right now. But listen, I give Jalen another year. And if things don't get better in terms of him improving, because he needs to play better, in terms of him improving, then look, they'll be looking to draft somebody else and bring somebody else in here because he's making way too much money. He's the highest player paid on that team, and he's making way too much money. And he's up, next year he'll be up for an extension. Yeah. So he got to come on this year. Come on.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I think the best head coach hire for me is Richard Melton's Bills with Joe Brady. They took him from the offensive coordinator and now he's the head coach. I think that was the best head coaching hire for me this cycle.
Okay. Well, I guess Richard is on right now. We said more RPOs. Yeah, more RPOs. That's right. Mama said Billy Bell, you got my mother laughing. I believe the Eagles coaching took his legs away by not calling more points with Hurts and made him a pocket quarterback.
I can see that. That
could be, yeah. Some of that, though, is Jalen as well. It's been talked about on the sports radio here and the broadcasts on TV and podcasts. It's been, some of it is Jalen's decision at the line of scrimmage to change the play.
Okay.
Because he has that freedom, in most cases, he has that freedom to change the play. So some of his running or his lack of running has to do with him changing the play.
So you know what we're going to do? Since you work for the Philadelphia media.
I don't work for them. I work for Irving Fryar. That's who I work for. I'm my own CEO. I don't work for nobody.
Okay, keep your shirt on. So I know you're the independent journalist, but when you go to those press conferences, we need you to ask the
I
questions.
don't go to the press conferences. That's why I don't work
That's
for the
the
Eagles.
problem. We got to get you into the press conference.
Okay, well, you need to fill out some paperwork and get. You need to fill out some paperwork on behalf of WOW, and for next season.
We got to get
I would
you
love
in
that.
so you can ask those questions.
Yeah,
you say, "Hey, Jalen, are you deciding not to run as often as you used to?" You got to ask those questions.
Are you changing the plays? Are you changing the plays? Why don't you run it? Okay, here's my news. You mentioned some of the coaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is Black History Month. This is the second day.
Okay.
Black History Month. I'm about to go in. I'm about to go in. I'm about to go in because the more things seem to change, the more things stay the same.
Okay.
So, come the end of this season, the NFL had 10 open head coaching spots, and the final 2 now have been filled. Like you said, Kubiak will be going to the Raiders, and then Mike LaFleur going to the Cardinals. That's the last 2. So there were 10 open head coaching jobs.
Mm-hmm.
0 black head coaches were hired in this cycle of 10 openings for head coaching jobs. And this 10 is the most in NFL history in a single season, having 10 jobs open. That leaves 3 active black head coaches: D'Amico Ryans, Todd Bowles, and Aaron Glenn. Out of the 10 that were hired, you want to say something?
Out of the 3 active African Americans that you talk about, 2 of them on the hot seat.
Hello. Hello. I'm speaking on behalf of blacks right now, so I'm not going to say they're on the hot seat. But there's out of the 10 hires, 9 of the 10 hires were white. None of them were black. 4 of them were head coaches before, and 6 of them are first-time head coaches.
You sure Sailor ain't got a little brother in him?
No, he ain't.
Okay.
Nope. Well, it's not declared. He's considered white. There have only been 11 black head coaches who have been given another chance at head coach after being fired or let go from their first head coaching job. There's only been 11 in the history of the NFL.
Okay.
Right now in the NFL, they got 2 sets of brothers that are head coaches. Mm-hmm. That's Mike and Matt LaFleur and Jim and John Harbaugh. Y'all, this is straight up racism. That's what it is. It's straight up racism. Black athletes dominate the NFL. And we went through this with quarterbacks. Folks saying that the black quarterback or the black athlete is not smart enough to be a quarterback. We went through that with quarterback. And we're still struggling with that a little bit. But we still got this struggle going on, and it's obvious when you have the majority of players are African American, but you don't think that the best kind of coaches for them, or there's enough to be more than 3 in the league right now out of 2 teams. We got 3 black head coaches, and you had 10 openings, and none of them were filled by a black head coach.
I mean, just the
racism.
The fact of what you're saying is facts. There's no question about it. Just the ratio. The league is what, 80% African American?
Yes.
70% African American? Just the ratio is way off. And that's
we built the blood of our sweat and blood built the league. Come on.
And so when you see what you're seeing, to me, it's indicative of what we are experiencing here in the world.
Of course.
In the United States, it's just very divided.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Any football player will tell you, any athlete for the most part that play a team sport will tell you this. I don't care who is in the locker next to me. I don't care who's in the huddle next to me. As long as you're hitting the people with the opposite jersey, that's all that matters.
That's
to me.
right.
I don't care if you blue with polka dots. It does not matter to me. And most people will tell you that's in that locker room.
Right.
They don't care. They don't
Right.
see racism, if you will.
Right.
They don't
Right.
care who's leading the charge as long as we're leading the charge in the right way and we're pointing the gun in the right direction.
But
So
you know
that's
what?
the problem with
That's
Yes, sir.
because we can be that way because we don't control the money.
No, but I'm saying from a standpoint that we in the locker room, in terms of the athletes, we
Right.
just want to win.
Right.
We want to win.
And we don't,
care.
but it's for owners, it's about money. For the owners, they want to win. Why do they want to win? Because if they win, the team wins, they make more money.
Right.
We don't control the money. We get what we can while we can, when we can, but we don't control the money.
Right.
And that's why it's not racism from our side. Even if we had a problem, it's not racism because we don't control the finances. We don't control the outcome of a situation based on the financials. It's racism. Just straight up racism. It's sad.
It's jacked up and it's sad and all of the above. There's no question about it.
Why do you think? Why do you think? There's two things that we should have as former players. We should have some form of insurance. They should give us some form of insurance based on what we did for a living. On behalf of our team, on behalf of the league. We kept a certain we lived a certain kind of way and didn't do certain things and protected the shield, so on and so forth. We deserve, and put our bodies on the line, we deserve some form of insurance for the rest of our lives. You get vetted, you should have insurance the rest of your lives. It ain't cost them no more money. It ain't gonna cost them anything more than that.
I'm not 100% sure, Irv, that's not going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen in our lifetime. I'm not so sure it's not going to happen because things are trending that way with the changes. So I have hope for that.
Well, they need to hurry up. Shoot. They need to hurry up. I'm 63. Come on. What you gonna do?
But you make an excellent point that it has to change. And we got the Rooney Rule, but that ain't working. That ain't working.
No.
I mean, it's
They
just not working.
bring a black face in and say they met the Rooney Rule. So that bothers me, and don't be fooled. Like I said, it's just straight up racism. It is. It's sad.
Because you can't say there's not qualified coordinators out there. There's plenty of qualified.
Oh, there's plenty of qualified coordinators out there for sure.
Yeah,
for sure, and they just don't get the opportunity. All right, who's your coach of the year? I'm finished venting.
Okay, so
I didn't mean to bring us down.
No. You said it with your chest. You said it. Amen. All right, so coach of the year. This was hard for me, and we're going to see how close we are to what I think the NFL honors is what, Thursday, I believe.
Yes, it's in a couple of days.
Thursday, yeah. Friday.
The 5th, I think it is the 5th. Is the 5th?
Okay, and the Pro Bowl is tomorrow. The Pro
Bowl is tomorrow.
It's tomorrow
during the middle of the week.
Tuesday. Yeah, that's what I thought was weird.
What the heck is wrong with that?
8:00. Yeah.
So, anybody watching old touch football.
So I came up with the four. The big four: Liam Cohen for Jacksonville, Ben Johnson for the Bears, Mike McDonald, Seattle, and Mike Vrabel.
I got the same four.
So it's a toss up between Mike McDonald and Vrabel for me. But here's why I picked who I picked, and here's why. I got a lot of respect for Mike McDonald. Okay. He had a lot. I mean, the pieces are in place. This is his second year there.
Right.
In Seattle.
Second year. Yep.
He was 10-7 in 24, 14-3 in 25.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what he did. He took a new quarterback and integrated him into the system, and they made it to the Super Bowl. I give him credit for that. Mike Vrabel with the Pats. They got the easiest schedule, man. They had the easiest schedule.
Not in the playoffs. Not in the playoffs, but in the regular season. And that's what they're judged more so right now is the regular season. 4-3, turn them around is from 4-13 to 14-3. I think because
what he did and the Pats, and I said this earlier in our shows, because of the Pats name and what they've done, and they've been synonymous with winning and 6 Super Bowls, I think it's a shoe-in for him to win, regardless of the easiest of schedule. And the fact that he got them there and that turnaround in his first year, I think he'll edge out Mike McDonald. So I think he'll be the coach of the year.
I agree with you, and I think what Vrabel has done is just, you don't see it very often. They won the AFC East. Like you said, they were 4-13 last season, and now they're 14-3. Won the AFC title. Now they have an appearance in Super Bowl 60. In the playoffs, they played so far, and they're going to play in Seattle. Against Seattle, they're going to play against the number 1 defense in the NFL. And they played in the playoffs 3 of the top 5 defenses in the NFL. So they have, mind you, Drake May hasn't thrown the ball a whole lot, hasn't done that in the playoffs, but they've found a way to win against 3 defenses that are in the top 5 toughest defenses in the league. They'll get number 1 in the Super Bowl. The one that comes closest to me, though, is, and not really closest, but when you look at what he has been able to achieve, is Liam Cohen. This is his first year with the Jaguars. Last season they were 4-13.
Right.
And his first season comes in, he's 13-4. So they won the AFC first in AFC South. I think the only thing, or the thing that is keeping him out from being closer to Vrabel, is the fact that they lost in the wild card round against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
They're voting. I don't know if they've already voted now or they've voted since the playoffs started, but the playoffs are helping Vrabel because this team they're helping him. The Seahawks have only played 2 games and the Patriots have played 3 games. But yeah, Mike McDonald, I think that's cool. What he's done is he's accomplished a lot and he deserves an honorable mention. But, given the fact that this is Vrabel's first year, he brought that team back from 4-13. He's working with a second-year quarterback. He's got that defense. The defense has just turned totally around as well. And they're playing Mike Vrabel defense. And they're considered to be one of the better defenses in the league. He's just taken that whole team and what he's done in 1 season as opposed to what it's taken Mike McDonald to do in 2. So that's why I would, and and McDonald's got a seasoned quarterback in Sam Darnold. He's a seasoned quarterback. I got a new cat, Drake May, trying to keep him under wraps and teach him and keep him focused and not allow him to stray straight to the side, start looking left and right and get off track. He's done a great job of that. So I think he's going to get the nod, I believe, Mike Vrabel.
Okay. All
right. Who's your MVP this year? Who's your most valuable player in the league?
Well, right now, it looks to be they're 1 and 2. And you're talking, my number 1 pick is Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
His numbers, 4,700 yards passing, touchdowns, 46. I didn't realize he had that many touchdowns. 46 touchdowns. A lot. And only 8 interceptions. This is the 8th time in history that a quarterback has thrown for at least 4,500 yards and 45 touchdowns. 6 of the 7 to do so won the MVP. So I really think he's going to win it. Then there was one streak that I found a stat during this year. He had a streak of 28 touchdowns straight with no picks.
No picks.
With no picks. 28.
He chunking it, man. He was chunking the ball.
So I like Drake May, but I just think Stafford just has the numbers, notoriety, if you will, been around a little bit longer. And I just think he's going to edge out Drake May. So that is my pick, Stafford.
I agree with you. Let me give you some honorable mentions. I think Josh Allen's in the running, but he's not, he's not in the top 10 stats quarterback-wise. I think he's number 11 in quarterback stats. He's got 3,668 yards, 25 touchdowns, 14 rushing TDs, and 25 throwing TDs. 10 interceptions. He's in the, give him a shout out. And also Christian McCaffrey, CMC from the 49ers. Mm-hmm. He ran for 1,202 yards and had 924 yards receiving with 17 TDs. He almost became, he is one of three who have rushed for 1,000 and caught 1,000 yards receiving. That's Roger Craig, Marshall Faulk, and CMC already did it in 2019. He could have been the only one to do it twice, just a few yards short of that. But shout out to him, honorable mention. And then Trevor Lawrence. I never realized Trevor Lawrence was balling like that. 4,007 yards, 29 TDs, and 12 interceptions. So shout out to him. So the battle is going to be between, or it's going to be tight between Matthew Stafford and Drake May. Drake May takes the edge for me for this reason. Matthew Stafford, yes, he threw for 46 touchdowns. He's got a 71 quarterback rating for the season, and that's fourth in the NFL. But he's also got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. That makes a difference, right? When you got something to work with, it makes a difference for the receiver when you got a real good quarterback, and it makes a difference for the quarterback when you got some good receivers. And he's got Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. So Drake May, this is his second year, 4,394 yards, 31 touchdowns, not quite as many, not nearly as many as Matthew Stafford. 8 interceptions, same amount of interceptions, but his quarterback rating is first in the NFL. I think he's 77 point something. He's got Stephon Diggs, Demario Douglas, and Kayshon Boutte. Those are his receivers. He's got less to work with. He is not as experienced, but he's dragged his team, pulled his team, not so much in the playoffs, but before the playoffs, he was throwing the ball all over the place. And his quarterback rating is number 1 in the NFL. That, for me, gives him an edge over Matthew Stafford. But that's just me. I'm not a voter. And I think based on what you said, the fact that Matthew Stafford has been around, he's got a little more experience, people are rooting for him. He's got more yardage, he's got more TDs. They're probably going to give it to him. Yeah.
And I mean, those are great points that you make about Drake May. And then there was a rumor that's, I don't know how real it is. Stafford's talking about retiring. Well, that's the rumor.
Who, Stafford? But nobody's going to know that until after. Well, nobody will know that until after they make the decision for the MVP.
Right. So I don't know. Like you said, I don't know if the voting has taken place already. But if it hasn't, maybe that's a sympathy thing. They may say, well, he's going out, so let's let him go out.
Of course, it's a ploy. Why would you put that out there? Why would anybody put that out there? I mean, he probably didn't say it, but he probably had somebody else say it. Oh, he's thinking about retiring. Come on. It's a ploy for sympathy.
Hey, Irv,
to get the MVP.
I see on the chat line, Richard Melton, he says he needs an explanation. I think there's no one better than you to answer this for him. He needs an explanation of what a first ballot Hall of Famer is versus a non-famer.
Versus a nominee Hall of Fame? Okay. So let's talk about Belichick. So Coach Belichick, when anyone retires, whether it's a coach or a football or a player from the NFL, they have to wait 4 years. You have to wait 4 years after you're officially retired before you can actually be not. Huh?
That was 5? What 5 hits in my head, but you may be right.
It's 4.
I thought it was 5.
You have to wait 4 years before you can officially be nominated for the Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame. Now, I've been on the ballot 4 different times. I just never made it to a finalist and been voted in as a Hall of Famer. So getting on the ballot is being a nominee, being nominated, getting on the ballot, being considered. I think they start out their original nominations, I think with 20-some people, 30 people. I'm not sure how many it is, but it's a pretty long list. And I've been on that list 4 times. I moved to the second, phase twice, but never made it to the third phase and then the final phase. And then the first time ballot Hall of Famer is that guy, that player, that coach that after 4 years of being out of the NFL, being retired from the NFL, now you're eligible to be a Hall of Famer and you're voted in that year.
Okay.
At the first time you're eligible to be voted in or being nominated, you're actually nominated and voted in. You make it all the way to the finalists and you're voted in. That's what's a first-time ballot Hall of Famer.
Versus the nominee? Gotcha.
The nominee is somebody who gets on the ballot but doesn't get selected.
Now,
doesn't make it all the way through the process.
To Belichick's point, I think it's a bunch of crap. I think he should be a shoe-in. I don't think he needs to wait. I'm sorry. Tom Brady, I don't think he needs to wait. I think there's some exceptions like that. Let's stop.
What you mean? Go right in the first year?
You go right in, brother. You go right in.
No, I think they have to wait just like everybody else for the 4-year period of time, but they should go in. I don't see why they.
The first year. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
yes.
They still have to wait the 4 years to become eligible. But once they're eligible, guys like Tom Brady, guys like Bill Belichick, they want to talk about Spygate and not Spygate, but it was Spygate, them cheating and so on and so forth.
Stop.
Stop. Because guess what? They're going to put him in anyway. Right. They're not going to keep him out. They can't keep him out. They're not going to keep Tom Brady. They can't keep him out.
Right.
So what are you waiting for? Because you're trying to prove a point? Well, you're going to put him in anyway. And keeping him out and not making him a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Well, because you're going to put him in anyway, and everybody knows he should have been in the first ballot anyway. So that's not doing anything. It's not causing any harm to him. It's just making you look stupid, like you said, or vengeful. It makes you look like an idiot. Because next year they're going to put him in.
Right.
So what did you actually accomplish by keeping him out for a year or not putting him in as a first ballot? Oh, he wasn't the first ballot Hall of Fame. Listen,
we showed you.
When we get to heaven, ain't nobody going to be worried about who got in before anybody else. All we going to be happy about is that we all got in.
We all got in.
Shoot. I ain't going to be, well, you walked in before me. That means you better than me. No, we all got in. We got in. That's all that matters. Shoot.
So, who's your receiver? That's the receiver of the year. This one's easy for me. And I ain't even gonna take up a lot of time. I'm going with JSN.
Yeah, I know.
And I put him over Puka Nacua, and here's why.
Okay, go ahead.
He had to break in a new quarterback. As a receiver, that ain't always easy.
Well, he wasn't breaking him in. He's still a young bunny himself. It's only his third year in the league, so he ain't breaking nobody in.
Well, no, what I'm saying is he new quarterback to his team.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So that, getting on the same page, syncing up, knowing each other, that's not easy necessarily.
No,
so
it's not easy.
That in itself gave him the edge for me over Puka, who's been playing with what's his name for
Sam Darnold. Yeah. And I agree with you. And Jigba is, although I still stand firm on my opinion of Puka Nacua being the best receiver in the league. Mm-hmm. I still stand firm on that. But this season, yes, and Jigba played better. He deserves to be the wide receiver of the year. He has more yards. He caught more yards than anybody else. Number one in yards. I think he's 10 catches behind Puka Nacua. Both of them caught 10 touchdowns. But Njigba has a 15.1 yard average, and Nacua has a 13.3 yard average. And here's the other thing. I mean, yes, Njigba was a first-round draft choice the same year, 2023, as Puka Nacua. I think Nacua was like a sixth-round draft choice, fifth or sixth round. But here's what impresses me about Njigba. He's never, and I said this last week, he's never missed a game. 3 years in the league, he started all 17 games every season, and he hasn't missed a game in 3 years, the 3 years that he's been in the league. And that by itself earns my respect. Tough guys that can play, can catch the ball and be consistent and be an asset to their team and not cause problems, not be, extra like A.J. Brown and, demanding and being a jerk when things don't go their way, particularly at the wide receiver. We can be, prima donnas. We can be prima donnas. We know that. But he's just got my respect. And I really, really didn't notice him, Mike, until this last game against the Rams. I really didn't follow Seattle this year.
Right.
I mean, there were a couple of times when he was our receiver of the week just based on numbers and things like that, but I really hadn't seen him play.
Mm-hmm.
And to watch him play and to watch him make plays and to watch his body language and how he runs his routes and how he makes his yards after the catch and what he does when he's playing without the ball. He's a full asset to his team. He's a complete football player, just like Puka Nacua is. So Njigba's my number one.
Got it.
I got another rookie. It's a rookie of the year wide receiver. We started out this season talking about some of the guys we thought might end up being rookie of the year. I wish we could go back and see that broadcast. I didn't go back and look at it, so I don't know if we said this cat or not. McMillan from the Panthers. Teteroa McMillan. First round draft choice. He was the 8th pick in the NFL. Arizona Cardinals. He played 17 games, all 17 games, which is that's hats off for a rookie. All 17 games, 70 receptions, 1,014 yards, 7 TDs, 14.5 yard average. His longest catch was 43 yards this season, and he did it with a guy like you mentioned earlier, with a quarterback that I'm not very impressed by, and that's Bryce Young. I'm not impressed by him at all. He's kind of soft to me. He just looks soft. He acts soft. He's not. He'll be around a little while, but he's not going to win any championships. He's going to end up being a backup quarterback somewhere, and he'll be around for a while in the league, make some good money, but he's not taking the Panthers to a championship. They need to make up their minds that he's not the one, and maybe make some moves for the draft and see if they can get someone that can take that team to the next level. Because as we said earlier, the quarterback matters. He matters. Yeah. Just like what we're going to talk about now with the Super Bowl. When you look at this Super Bowl, you're looking at two quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at two quarterbacks. And it doesn't matter. It don't matter. Here's the beauty of this game, Mike, the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter what happened in the regular season now.
Right.
It doesn't matter what happened in the playoffs now. It's one game.
One game.
It's one game. It's win or go home. And it doesn't matter. I mean, it's a rematch. Everybody says the rematch of Super Bowl 49, Russell Wilson threw that interception. But you know what? You think about it now, though, Mike. I thought about that. Rematch, Super Bowl 49, when Russell Wilson, everybody's saying they should have handed the ball off to what's his name, running back?
Beast mode.
Beast mode, yeah. They should have handed the ball off to beast mode, but they decided to throw a little quick slant, and it was undercut by the DB. And I always wondered, watching that play, when they replayed it that day and they replayed it sometime later on, I'm thinking to myself, man, that was good coaching for him to recognize that they were going to throw that pass and undercut that receiver and intercept the ball and win the game. That was to me, that was amazing. Yeah, but watch
because
this.
They coached it up.
Remember, Bill Belichick was cheating. Remember? They were filming plays. They were sending in spies. And it was during that time. It was during that time. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that cat reacted to that ball just real fast. I mean, it's like he knew this was getting ready to happen. And then when you go back and you think about it, they were spying. They were spying on teams.
Well, wait a minute.
They were filming their practices. They were doing all that stuff back then.
But wait, let me ask you this question. You know as well as I do, if you got good scouts and they are scouting,
and they got good cameras,
and well, part of that, and at the same time, we watch film until our eyes bleed,
right?
And sometimes you can pick up on third, and when you're in the red zone or 5 yards in, they like to run this play,
right? And
a lot of times there's tendencies that if they line up in this coverage, in this offense set, they're going to run this play if they're 5 yards and in to the end zone. Right. So you get some tendencies. So
but we also know whatever they're going to run in the game, they run in practice that week.
I agree with that.
So if they're in the red zone, 5 yards, 10 yards out, they can run that. They could have been practicing that play
I
And
agree
because
with
I'm
that.
telling you, man, you go back and watch that. I'm like, boy, that cat jumped that ball like he knew what was going on. I said that to myself when it happened. I'm like, man, that's some good coaching right there for that cat to recognize that fast and to jump in front of that receiver, because he didn't have that much time. He didn't have any time. That play was going like that. They were only a couple yards away, and he had to make a decision now. It was like he knew what was happening, and he jumped in front of that ball.
Okay. All right. Well,
So, Seattle, as much as I do not want to admit this, the Seattle Seahawks are rolling right now. They're rolling right now. Defensively, they're playing great. Offensively, they scored 72 points in 2 games. The 2 games they played in the playoffs, right? 72 points. Sam Darnold, I'm not a big Sam Darnold fan, but he had his best game of his career last week against the Rams. Just play for play.
you think he
Score
shot
for
his
score.
wide?
Huh?
You think he shot his wide? You think he shot his wide?
I'm afraid that he hasn't. That's the thing. Okay. I want the Patriots to win, but I don't think the Patriots are going to win this because, well, look at the Patriots. Their defense, yes, they've been in defensive struggles all the playoffs. The Chargers and the Titans, not the Titans, but the Texans.
Right.
And who else did they play? The Broncos. The Broncos. But then they played the Broncos without any Bo Nix, and Drake May only had 10 completions in that game. Only 10 completions. So all of the games in the playoffs, Drake May wasn't performing like the Drake May during the season because they were in big defensive battles. I think this is going to be a similar situation where they're going to have to score points because they're up against a great defense, and they got a decent defense. But Sam Darnold, I think he's going to come out and score a point, not score a whole bunch of points, but he's going to. And Drake May is not scoring points right now, particularly through the air. It's not going to be one of those games where you can keep the ball on the ground and grind it out because the conditions are bad. It's wet or it's snow or it's cold. It's not going to be any of that. They're going to have to score some points in this game, and I'm not so sure they're going to be able to keep up with Sam Darnold and that offense. Who's going to stop Njigba?
Well, I'll tell you what they're looking to do. Perhaps is take their best DB, Gonzalez, and play him man to man.
Gonzalez is a good DB. I don't know that he can do that. I think they're asking for trouble.
I don't know either, but they have a lot of confidence in him. And
well, what they need to do is play zone and double him up.
Okay, well, that may be the case too. But then you want to get some pressure on the quarterback, then you may need to free someone up. So that's why I say the man-to-man. So here's the thing for me. The Patriots will need to force Donald into mistakes. He had 20 turnovers this year, 14 interceptions. They were the third most.
Right.
8 of the 14 interceptions was under pressure.
Right.
So they may dial up an extra pressure to get to him. Here's the other thing the Patriots need to do. Their O-line. They got 2 left tackles that are rookies. May has been sacked 5 times in all 3 playoff games.
All 3 playoff games, yep.
All 3 playoff games. So right now, Seattle's defense is licking their chops. Because you got 2 rookies on that left side, which is what? His blind side.
Blind side.
So don't be surprised that the first time they blitz, they're going to bring somebody off that at the left side.
Right.
So in addition to that, I think the Patriots, Drake May, you had said this. Drake May has to make some plays with his feet.
With legs. That's what I was going to say here. Yep.
He
because they don't spy him because he's not a quarterback that they considered a run threat. But he can run. And there's going to be 4 or 5 times in this game where Drake needs like a blitz. If they blitz, just have the lineman push him by, step up. Now you got wide open field. Open field. So
now for the Seahawks, here's a defense that led the NFL in the fewest points allowed. We know how stout their defense is. Sam Darnold, he can't turn the ball over. He has to let his defense stay on the field and let them eat. He can't do it. I think Seattle's zone defense, they don't blitz a lot.
No.
So guess what that's going to do? they haven't seen a lot of blitzing from that zone defense that Seattle has. So what do you think they're going to do for this second-year quarterback?
Oh, they have
He hasn't
blitzes.
seen it.
Yeah, they got blitzes built in. They
they don't
just
blitz a
haven't.
lot.
They haven't run them. That's all.
So he may see some blitzes that obviously he's not prepared for because they don't blitz a lot. Contain May when he runs. That was the other thing I got, and then to use play action to open up the middle of the field. The Seahawks, I think they can do that because they have a strong running game.
Right.
I'm going to give the edge to Seattle because I think, like you said, Patriots got to score some points. I just don't know with that defense that they're going to be able to score enough points. Right. And I think that Seattle has enough offensively that they can score a little bit more than the Patriots. So I'm giving the Seahawks will win by 7.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a close game. But you know as well as I know, Mike, the ball can bounce funny.
Yeah.
Something bad can happen. Somebody can get hurt. A key player get hurt early in the game, and turn the tide of the game or give an advantage to the opposing team. Anything can happen. But right now, the way it looks, Seattle is the favorite. I think on the books, the bookies, the betting folk, they got Seattle as the favorite, and it should be that way.
Give me a score.
I'm real interested in seeing which Sam Darnold shows up. If it's the same one that was playing against the Rams last week, or if it's the one that was in the middle of the season, middle of the season, waving a red flag, a white flag.
You got a score prediction?
I think more. Yeah, let me say.
I'll give you mine first since you're thinking. All right, I'm going to go Patriots. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks, 17-10.
I'm going to Seattle Seahawks 23-17.
Ooh, they're going to score that much?
23-17. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Remember, I mean, there's no bad weather.
Right.
It's conducive to scoring, throwing the ball. Both these guys want to throw the ball. Sam Darnold wants to throw the ball. He doesn't want to have to throw the ball to win the game, but he wants to throw the ball. He does want to throw it. Drake May wants to throw the ball. Period. Whether he wants to win throwing the ball.
But I'm gonna give New England's defense a lot more credit than
of course
they're gonna allow them to score 23 points. I don't see that defense allowing them to score 23 points.
And Jigba makes big plays.
Mm-hmm.
He makes big plays. So,
okay. Right.
And I do believe there's going to be a turnover in this game, like you said, and because that defense for Seattle coming off that left side of the Patriots, there's going to be a couple of times where they're going to get to Drake May and maybe even cause him to fumble the ball because he's not going to see him coming.
Right.
So there'll be a turnover or two in this game.
Now, let's before we go, let's make sure we talk about the X factor. Let's not forget the returner for Seattle.
Yeah.
Remember, he broke the game open, that opening 95-yard kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not discount that.
Okay.
He's big, and they're going to play him enough on offense. So there's another weapon for Darnold.
Right.
So
right. I also believe Cooper Kupp is going to have a good game for Seattle.
I can see that.
We don't forget about him because Cooper was the man a few years ago.
Yeah.
At the Rams. Cooper was the dude. Yeah. He was the dude. He's been in situations like this. He knows how to play under pressure in big games.
Yeah.
He's look for him to be an X factor, to catch that touchdown pass or to make that play that makes a difference in the game. And then also we've seen Booty. Is that how you say his name? Booty.
Whatever works.
For the Patriots. He's made a couple of plays, big plays.
Mm-hmm.
So he could be that X factor for the Patriots. Not Diggs, but Booty. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But look for Cooper Kupp though, man. I feel like Cooper Kupp's going to come out in this game and we see the old Cooper Kupp making some big plays.
Okay. All right. Well, we got it.
Yep.
We got her done.
If who is this? Richard Melton says if May is an MVP, then he'll find a way to win. If he's an MVP, yeah.
Yeah.
If they win, well, they're going to vote on the MVP before the game. So They should wait until after the Super Bowl.
I agree, but he's saying if he's MVP caliber,
right, yeah. If he's an MVP, he'll find a way. Yeah.
You know, we said this. We said, you and I talked about this during the season, when they were making that run, and everybody was talking about the Patriots. We said we just don't know how he's going to do in the playoffs. Right. So right now, to date, those 3 playoff games, it wasn't great.
No, it wasn't.
You know,
it wasn't.
So now he's in the Super Bowl. If he's playing the same,
he can't.
We knew he was young.
There's no way he can play like he's played in these 3 playoffs games. There's no way he can play like that and they win this game.
Right.
There's no way. He's got to elevate his game. Not that he went backwards, so to speak, but he's got to play more like he did during the regular season, where he's throwing the ball down the field and you know, looking like he's got a swag going on about him, and you know, take over the game from the offensive side for the Patriots. But if he doesn't do that, then they're not going to win. The defense for the Seattle Seahawks will prevail.
Eat him up.
Yeah, and eat him up. Exactly. All right, y'all. That is it. Let me shout out Richard Melton. Let me get my cursor here. Richard Melton. Richard got a whole bunch of comments here. Billy Bell in the house, loving my destiny. Eddie Casper. Mama is still in the house. Who else? Vinny Capriati. Dawn, only put her up there once. She only had one comment. She said, hey, okay. I think that's it. Oh, she did say good. She said good evening too. And White House World is here. That's us. All right, we may be back next week. I don't know. We got to have our meeting. It all depends on when I get back from Minnesota next week. Hopefully it doesn't snow. Good Lord.
Yeah.
It's been snowing on the weekends. And you know it don't play up there in Minnesota with that snow.
No, sir.
Good gracious.
No, sir.
I'll be stuck there for 2 days.
No, that's cold up there too.
Yeah, it's cold in New Jersey. You're living a life down there. I know it's a little bit cold down there where you are, but
man, it was 24. I had frost on my car this morning. It was 24.
And he's in Florida, y'all. He's in Florida, yeah.
24 in Orlando. Oh my good gracious, boy. The power companies was sending out text messages to people saying
state of emergency.
No, they said don't turn your heat on all at the same time. The power company was freaking out because everybody was picking that heat at the same time. So it was a mess, man.
Oh, well, listen, it's single digit cold up here, bro. Single digit. I get up in the morning, go to the gym. It is cold.
Well, you can have it. I wouldn't go to the gym. I do my in front of the TV workout. If it's no, I ain't getting no.
Well, you know what? Going to the gym, particularly in the morning, early in the morning, helps keep me on track. You know, helps keep me disciplined.
I appreciate it. It's too cold. I ain't doing it. I can get in front of the TV.
But that's a part of the discipline, you know.
I can get in front. No, I ain't playing football no more. I can get in front of the TV, do an executive workout, and be done.
Sitting in the chair. You do this sitting in the chair, huh? All right, y'all. It's Super Bowl weekend. Hopefully, whoever you want to win will win. If not, there's always next year.
Eat lots of wings.
And I'm speaking to Richard Melton. It's always next year, Richard. And you're speaking to me too, because the Eagles always next year. I don't know what the Eagles are going to do next year, man. It might be a mess. And your 49ers too, Mike. There's always next year.
I know. It's so sad.
All right, y'all. We're out of here.
We'll
Yep. I'm Irving. That's
Michael
Mike.
Timpson. We'll see you next time.
World. Yeah. This is White House World. We'll see you next time. All right?
When we see
y'all be good. We're out.
This has been Whiteout's World.
Touchdown.
The legends, Irving Fryar and Michael Timpson. Are you freaking kidding me? If it's football talk you're looking for, I think we've got you covered. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find us on YouTube at Whiteout's World. See you next time.
Let's go. Let's go. 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 Go.